What we are witnessing right now is not a breaking news spectacle or a political headline designed for outrage. It is something far more serious and far more consequential. For the first time in modern American history, a former president is facing the real possibility of arrest, not because of testimony, not because of political pressure, but because of something far more unforgiving: digital evidence. Phones don't forget. Servers don't misremember. Metadata doesn't care about loyalty, ideology, or power. According to legal analysts following this case closely, investigators have completed a full forensic review of electronic devices seized during lawful searches. These devices include phones, laptops, tablets, and backup systems used by Donald Trump and individuals in his closest orbit. What matters is not simply that devices were seized, but what was found on them. Prosecutors are reportedly describing the evidence as clear, direct, and internally consistent. Messages align with timelines, instructions match outcomes, deleted data was recovered, encrypted conversations were reconstructed. In other words, this is not circumstantial evidence built on interpretation. It is a digital trail that allegedly shows intent, coordination, and execution. That distinction matters more than most people realize. In major criminal cases, prosecutors do not announce the likelihood of arrest unless they are confident they can prove every element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. These decisions are not made casually. They follow months, sometimes years of verification, cross-checking, and internal challenge. Every message must align. Every timestamp must make sense. Every claim must survive defense scrutiny before it ever reaches a courtroom. That's why this moment is so significant. Critics often argue that cases involving powerful political figures are politically motivated, but this case did not originate from a campaign, a rival party, or a media outlet. It emerged from a special counsel process specifically designed to operate independently of political control. Special counsels are appointed precisely to remove bias, distance influence, and ensure credibility. Their mandate is narrow, evidence-driven, and legally constrained. And digital evidence changes everything. In previous eras, cases rose or fell on witness testimony, memories that could fade, stories that could shift. Today, digital records capture what people say when they think no one is watching. Text messages sent in confidence, emails written late at night, instructions delivered casually, jokes that reveal intent, plans discussed without imagining they'd ever be seen again. Investigators don't just read messages, they reconstruct behavior. They map who spoke to whom, when, how often, before and after key events. They analyze deleted files, cloud backups, metadata, and even fragments left behind by attempted erasures. What emerges is not a single message, but a pattern. Legal experts say the alleged pattern here shows coordination among multiple individuals, repeated behavior over time, and explicit discussions about actions that may constitute obstruction, concealment of evidence, and misuse of classified material. That's why comparisons are being made to Watergate, not because of politics, but because of technology. Richard Nixon was undone by tapes he never thought would matter. This case may hinge on data that was never meant to survive. And this moment forces a question the country has avoided for decades. Is power a shield against accountability? If overwhelming evidence exists and no action is taken, the precedent would be unmistakable. It would signal that political influence grants immunity, that popularity overrides law. But if the law applies evenly, regardless of status, then this moment becomes a defining test of American democracy, not because of who is involved, but because of what the evidence shows. This is not about vengeance. It is not about ideology. It is about whether facts still matter in a system built on rules. Digital evidence does not have opinions. It has records. And once those records speak, silence is no longer an option. What happens next will not just affect one man. It will define the boundaries of power for generations to come.